All right, we're following some breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. High school athletes in the state of Florida have been given the green light to continue fall sports. The Florida High School Athletic Association Board of Directors voted in an emergency meeting today to clear sports to start on August 24th. One interesting thing to note, individual districts can still choose not to play if they so choose so. All right, let's bring in Steve Montoya, Director of Programming at Max Preps. And Steve, we've got the news now for one of the biggest states in terms of prep athletes and schools and sports. So what's your reaction here to the news?
Yeah, my reaction is this is big news because Florida has some of the best high school football around the country. 13 teams in the top 100 come from the state of Florida, some of the top players, and now they are allowed to play in fall. There was fear that, you could get pushed back into the spring and some of the top recruits may not play if that happens. Now we could see games in the state of Florida as early as September 4th. So this is big news for high school football fans around the country.
Can you give me a sense of, again, what this means at the prep level? Because you mentioned what would have happened if things were pushed back. We know there were 3 proposals on the table. They went with the first one, which was backed by the governor, Ron DeSantis. High school football and the need for these kids to be able to showcase themselves. Now that they're able to do that, what's that going to be like for, teenagers that are 14, 15, and 16 years old?
Yeah, and that was some of the biggest discussions that were going on during the board of directors meetings that I was listening into. Is yes, there's the fear of COVID. Of course, everyone fears that, but there's also just the fear of the teenage side, the kids not being able to play, and I think that's why the vote went 11-5 in that favor, because kids are going to be kids. They're going to go out, so that they want to structure it and get it down to just them playing high school football. And why this is so big is, in the state of Florida, high school football is just so important to these kids. And now we're going to be able to see them coming up here in a few weeks. A kid like J.J. McCarthy at IMG Academy, he may have opted out if they went to option 3 and pushed to spring and enrolled in college early. Now he'll get to play his high school senior season in Florida.
Steve, before I let you go, I had mentioned sort of the caveat that the board of directors had said individual districts can certainly make that decision. Do you anticipate some of the bigger ones like Broward or Miami-Dade and others of the like in South Florida, do you anticipate any of those sort of hotbed leagues and districts will do so?
Yeah, they're potentially in Miami, but what was said during the meeting, as schools can still push back, and the last opt-out date is September 18th. So we could see some schools not going for that September 4th date to see a little bit more of what's happening, and then they'll have until September 18th to officially opt out of their season or not.
Steve Montoya from Max Preps joining us with the very latest on the breaking news. Steve, certainly appreciated giving us the insight and the very latest there. Again, Florida High School is given the green light August 24th.